Welcome back to Rotato. So, a little background. I have tried to play Baby on Crash Zone like 8 times. 8 times I've failed, scrapped all the footage. It's been a bit of a struggle. So, change of plans. We're just not going to play Baby, and we're going to play something else because we have plenty of characters, as you can see, that we need to get through. And I will recover in like Engineer, Doctor, and Cryptid. I eventually do want to go through all of them. We got a lot of content to farm. But I think what we're going to play today is Masochist. Because I haven't played Masochist in a very long time, and I think he's really fun. Kind of reminds me of Bull, because you want to be taking damage. And I think what we're going to take here is Spiky Shield. Skills with armor. We're going to be wanting a lot of armor. And we're going to be wanting to play a melee build. You could use scissors to get lifesteal. But I just like Spiky Shield. It's just a really cool weapon. Maybe we could switch out into something later. But it also has a really good synergy tag, because you can get tons of armor dodge and max HP at the cost of some move speed. So the entire thing with Masochist is you want to take a couple hits while you're in your wave to increase your damage, because as you can see, your percent damage is really low, and it's going to be like that for quite a long time until you can get a couple items to increase it, or you can get a very special item, which is known as blood donation or the bloodied hand, if I remember that's what they're called. And they're going to hit you every second, which is going to be building damage every second. As you can see, since we can take a lot of hits very quickly, we have a ton of armor. We're not going to be taking a lot of damage for the early parts of the game, but it will ramp up very quickly and it will get very dangerous. So there's our weapon set. Pick up Scar. Now we should get some good economy items. We have 5 weapons with a 6 locked on wave 3. It's looking real good. Masochist is also one of my more liked characters because he's very simple. And considering Bull is basically Bull and Engineer are my favorite characters. Bull is just good fun if you play Rotato, because you don't have to worry about buying weapons, and you don't have to worry about half the stats that are in the game. We're going to take some attack speed, some harvesting, and just kind of fill everything out. Now, there are a couple weapons that I do want to try. Mainly that spoon that crits when you hit a burning enemy. It always crits when you hit a burning enemy. And there's the chef character, which basically only needs to burn people in order to deal damage. And you unlock the spoon by actually winning a run while playing chef. So, I mean, chef was also a bit of a struggle when I first played him. But, you know, I only played a couple runs, so I hadn't figured out how it totally worked yet. And so these curse guys, we're going to want to kill them because we're going to be mostly focusing on I lost my train of thought. My bad. Well, but since we scale with armor, we scale with 100% armor, we're going to buy basically every armor item we see, and we're going to be charging headfirst into all the enemies to build up our damage till we can get to the point where we can start one-shotting mobs. Like running into certain projectiles, just kind of smacking your face into everything. Now, our spiky shields do have a bit of knockback on them, so it is like a little counterintuitive. But when you start to get to the level that you're, you know, actually clearing the mobs quickly enough, the knockback will be just fine. Luck is cool, and blindfold, it's not my favorite item.
But we are going to want dodge. And this is the same thing with your on bull.
Yes, our character wants to take damage, but you don't want to take so much damage that you'll die very quickly. So building a little bit of dodge will kind of help that fact. And eventually I probably will just go over bull next time I play. Or the next video that comes out, I should say. Because I really like to explain bull, because not a lot of people understand bull. If you didn't, if you don't take the time to go look up the specifics of the characters on the Discord or the wiki, there's like a couple nuances where, like with bull, most people don't know that your explosion can crit. Just kind of small things. I think we are going to be focusing on crit chance, because we have 2 horde waves, which is something to think about. Peacock could be fun. Why not? A Rapaw. Actually, we're going to be using spiky shields, so we're going to be focusing mostly on armor, but armor is a little hard to get in the current Brotato, since there's a lot of various items that were added to the game. There's like 40 new items, so it's a little hard to find, armor items. But I think we can make it work. Worst comes to worst, we can switch out a spiky shield. We have a really good tag. We can find blunt and medieval weapons. So switching out won't be that difficult. It's just spiky shield gives us all that stats to help us survive. And hopefully we can find a blood bag. That'll solve most of our problems. And we're going to be focusing on regen, since we're going to be constantly taking damage. It's a little late for harvesting, but we're just going to take it anyway. And we're going to take the barnacle. Lock this. Take Post. Injection. Cursed ejection is insane. And we're not going to use lifesteal, so we don't have to worry about decomposing flesh. It's much better on characters that really don't care about a lot of HP, like Hunter. And it's a death sentence on Apprentice. Holy. Do not buy decomposing flesh when you play Apprentice. You'll be losing 2 HP every level up. It's not fun. You'll turn into a glass cannon real quick. Now, I don't know if I've talked about the Abyss at all, but it's the new DLC map that came out and is basically 2 times harder than Crash Zone. Although, don't believe that Crash Zone isn't difficult either on Danger 5, because they changed a lot of the enemy patterns and the damage of the enemies. So, Crash Zone has gotten deceptively more difficult. But Abyss is just another beast. So we're just gonna kind of steamroll through the shop here. Now, see, this is where we could make a switch. Although Warhammer, this is kind of like the dwarf weapon, where you get tons of engineering and you use that and you kind of turn into an engineering build. But Masochist is all about building percent damage through getting hit. So this is just a nice weapon. As you can see, it's got really high base damage, but it's got a really high cooldown. Now, it's interesting, but I don't want it. We can do better. So as you can see, we're starting to take a couple hits now. That is a cursed enemy. I'm very much aware. Cursed enemies hit like a truck. But quick damage check, we're already 35%. Although we are dodging a couple strikes. It will keep your HP up. The longer you survive, the more damage you can build up. You do want to basically worry about these big guys. Now, we don't have to worry about taking, what I would say would be chip damage. So like these slashers or these little guys that like create projectiles in a circle around them. They'll hit us and we kind of don't care because they're just helping us build damage. We're going to reroll here. It takes some attack speed. And speed is very important. Now, since we're mostly focusing on armor, we don't really care about melee damage. So I think we'll just take Peaceful Bee. Just keep going. Little Frog is interesting. Well, we could just try it. Why not? Cursed Black Belt. I like it for the XP gain. It gives us Curse too, so we'll take the padding, lock the ritual, reroll again. Dangerous Bunny. I would really kind of want to put a little more insight in what I'm thinking when I'm shopping, but I can just do it so quickly. It's a little hard to narrate over what's going on. And you could say that could be a downfall to a couple of my runs where I'm not thinking about what I'm seeing in my shop, and that could be your downfall. I will not disagree. But when you play a character like Masochist, where the stats that you're looking for are mostly just defensive stats, the shop becomes a little simpler, and you can just buy more utility items, more harvesting, since you're playing more defensive, and you get free scaling damage. Maybe with the beer, that's useless. We're just take more harvesting, some dodge. We're just gonna take this whole shop. Actually, we don't need ally. Oh, there it goes, right there. That is why Goldfish is the best. Bloody Hand, take the Night Goggles, Cursed Piggy Bank. It's coming up. Now I should have locked that Shady Potion because we do need a little bit of luck there.
But we kind of just high rolled the shop.
You know, not an issue. It can happen sometimes. The run's basically over. We can get a lot of percent damage. As you can see, we're already at 48%. Building Lifesteal is now a percentage damage stat for us, since we have the Bloodied Hand already giving us 22% damage, on top of it hitting us and giving us 5% more every second. Now things are just going to spiral out of control. Oh, by the way, same effect for Bull. If you get a Bloodied Hand or a Blood Bag, you could just explode. I just really like Bull. I like talking about him. What can I say? So now all sources of lifesteal are very important to us. And also, it's just another way to heal on top of our regen. More speed. Yeah. There it is. Blood donation and Spyglass for just better reroll price. And we'll spend 14. Cursed Riposte. 500% melee damage scaling. And we are dodging, so could be useful. My computer's having a bit of a stutter, but we're alright. Oh, as we can see, the now the 2 damage is actually starting to hurt. So maybe the blood bag was a little bit overboard. So let's just play defensive here. Let's just not get too crazy. I was kind of just talking and not focusing on what's going on, but now we gotta think. Okay, so judging by how this wave went, we're gonna be worried about a couple stats, which is getting more armor. We need more attack speed. Crit chance would have... I wouldn't say crit chance would help, but dodge is actually extremely useful because we don't want to be taking hits anymore. Now that we can damage ourselves, we don't want to get hit by monsters at all. Armor. Beautiful. Now, we can take Poisonous Tonic and more... Oh, here we go. All this is beautiful. I want this whole shop. Tentacle for more healing. Just another source. Now crit chance is a little more desired. So you can see how kind of like finding items like Tentacle can make stats a little more desired. Like if you find like the legendary lucky coin, crit chance becomes a double stat. You can get healing, you can get money from crit, and you can get luck from crit chance. But crit chance is only useful when you have an effect like that, which is why, I mean, unless you're just rich and you could just buy like 10 sunglasses without a care in the world with taking negative 10 armor, then I mean, you might as well buy it if you're not having any issues. But as a melee character, we're going to want as much armor as we can get our mitts on. Because considering it actually scales our damage. 4% lifesteal, dodge, take the whole shop. Now we do have 16 armor, so we do have like a bit... we'll take a little muscly dude. Some HP. Mirror is great. We're going to take that. We could duplicate any item that we wish. As long as it can be duplicated, that is. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a horde wave. I wasn't exactly paying attention. Just kind of waiting for our damage to build up. Yeah, but you can see this dodge coming in real handy. I'm kind of just like gonna wade in and out of crowds. Take some extra hits. Let's kind of build it up quicker. And we are fighting a lot of cursed enemies, and cursed enemies hit basically twice as hard as the regular ones. And you do want to kind of watch like what creatures you're hitting, what aliens you're smacking. You want to hit the ones that aren't cursed, and you want to hit the weaker guys. We're just gonna level up another spiky shield, and we want to be very... Ooh, it's tempting, but we'll just die. Now this is why we wait a little bit on our thing, because we can get 2 silver bullets, and now we do insane damage against... We'll take a cursed spiky shield. Oh, there's another silver. 3 silver bullets? Oh my... Wow. That elite isn't going to stand a chance. Horde waves are a different story, but 3 silver bullets, oh boy. It's also going to really help on wave 20, TV Hero with the double boss, since we are on Danger 5. Real men play on Danger 5. You might think I may have gone a little overboard on the speed, but I don't think we did. Having a really high amount of speed is really important later, because you can dodge elites. Especially when you fight like on the crash zone and you play and your first elite is Croc. on like wave 11 and you have -5 speed, just pack it in. Your run's over. Never ignore your speed stat. Now, you would say this 21% damage is pretty good, but every 1 point of lifesteal that we get is 2% damage. And to be honest, I'm more into the attack speed. Now, we could reroll for something like maybe armor, but I think we're okay for now. We're just going to buy all of this. I kind of don't want to buy a peacock. Just kind of just like speed. This tractor will pay for itself. It'll be fine. It's kind of a waste, but another cursed spiky shield. Now the spiky shield, the cursed ones are level 1, but if we can manage to like find an anvil, and this is another reason why luck is important. We have 12 luck. I kind of skipped out on a couple luck items because I'm oogling the other fun items, which is generally not a good idea. But I mean, if they can win you the run, it was not a stupid decision. Okay, so very important when you see these kind of vat-looking things. If you kill the guys that are running towards the vats, they'll disappear and they won't turn into that big monster over there that's spewing bullets. You don't want to have very many of them at the same time on Abyss, and these guys really suck if you're having a bad run or you're playing Pacifist. I can't imagine playing Pacifist on this level. I tried, actually, believe it or not. It does not go very well, but I did try. Yeah, we're just gonna buy. Sell. Mirror, cursed mirror is even more insane because it reduces the item price. Now you could say we could go curse mirror and then immediately buy mouse to get a ton of enemies and just get tons of money, which is not a bad idea. Now, with our damage climbing and our multiple silver bullets, this elite doesn't really stand a chance. And down he goes. And we do need a little bit more HP. I do feel very uneasy because we're getting to half health at some of these waves due to just all the cursed enemies. We have 52 curse.
More armor, more HP, more defensive stats.
Yeah. Like Game Rotato does get a little wild. Ooh, cape is insanity. Since we're only using armor injection. I kind of do want to search for armor. Regen's also important. There we go, 4 armor. Beautiful. Fairy. Pretty nice. We're gonna double the mouse. And we're gonna start buying items for our fairy. We do not want to take weird ghosts. We will die. That is a promise. Another spiky shield, lore, more crit. Actually, we don't need... We're looking for sunglasses at this point. Blindfold is basically it's a more expensive way to get crit. And we don't need to overstack dodge unless we have a Retromations hoodie. But now with 60% dodge from that cape, kind of fixed most of our defensive problems since we're capped now. As you can see, we could just run through cursed enemies, not a care in the world. Fairy, also as well. Props to Fairy. we're just running. We're just running them over. The stutter is terrible. More attack speed. At this point, I've just given up on luck. We don't need it. Another curse, spiky shield. Adrenaline. Pretty good. Really good healing if you're running a dodge build. And it's unique, so just get it out of the pool. We're kind of just going to want to buy all of these items just to give more regen and various stats. Thank God for the fairy icon update. Fairy now actively tells you whether it's going to give you a buff or a debuff. It also mixes with the renegade icon and the curious icon, which is pretty cool to think about at least. Those good little visual indicators does help a bit. I wonder if King has an icon for like tier 1 items. And it's something I have not checked. I haven't played King since the Abyssal Terrors update. As you can see, the double mouse with the extra 20% enemies. It's helping the economy more than anything. We're not really struggling. We're clearing them faster than we can see them. More armor. Lowered enemy move speed. Let's take some luck. Why not? We could just high roll something in the shop. You never know. Armor. We don't really need diploma. It's a red ooga booga. Just gonna buy armor. This is our last wave, so we're just spending our money wisely. Just get max HP. Ooh, tough luck on the silver bullet. Alright, let's go. Wave 20. These guys aren't going to stand a chance. Let's just rush them down. And it's over. Achievement get. There are the stats. The plus 100% damage against bosses is pretty insane. That kind of helped out a lot. Let's check out the damage actually on our spiky shields. So our cursed spiky shields, 2 levels under. Because of the curse, they scaled about pretty much the same with armor, which is pretty neat. Yeah, GG.